Over in the pages of Marvel Comics, it's been incredibly enthralling to see the publisher's latest Venom series really take on so much ambition in switching the lead character over from Eddie Brock to his son Dylan at perspective moments in this comic book series. Now, Venom is going through yet another change over in the 26th issue of the series, which is switching up the protagonists of the comic book yet again. This time, the series is giving the character of Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, a symbiote of her very own. My name is Arako Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and explore how Natasha is able to team up with Eddie's son Dylan and adapt over to her new symbiote in the pages of Venom issue 26. Before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider supporting the channel by subscribing and hitting the like button over on this video. The Sting of the Widow. After the shocking events of Venom issue 23, Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, crosses paths with the symbiotes in a way that will leave them both changed forever. Venom 26 is written over from Torunn Grønbekk, featuring artwork from Julius Ohta. We have colors from Frank D'Armata, letters and production from VC's Clayton Cowles, and we have a cover art coming in for the series over from Cafu. Really appreciate this interesting way that Natasha is seemingly fighting back against a symbiote over on this cover as well. I want to extend a quick thank you over to Adventures in Poor Taste and preview some of the first pages over from Julius Ohta in the issue as well. I really found across Venom 26 that some of the artwork from Ohta did just a masterful job recalling what the previous artist Cafu rendered over on the series, who also went ahead and illustrated that cover too. In this really tense moment between Black Widow, where she pursues these individuals of no name and finds a character known as Keith Walken, is very, very interesting. I love how this sequence sets up Natasha's symbiote in such interesting ways here, starting with some of the spiders crawling in the upper right corner of the panel that we have on the screen. I always appreciate it when artists employ negative space, and I think the middle of this page is so fascinating with these four panels kind of coalescing in the background, which just has this cryptic white hue as well. The way that Keith pulls a gun on Natasha, I think, shows just how dark some of the subject material can be over in this Venom issue. And when Natasha finally uses her symbiote to escape the situation that she's found herself in, I think it's really interesting how close readers get to see Natasha over with her symbiote. Her symbiote has a mysterious power where it can actually eat other people's brains and feed Natasha some additional memories from what they're able to find. It was really thrilling for me to see that Natasha's reasoning for ending up in the Venom series was due to her really chasing after this no-name character as well. I also think that Venom 26 really nicely pulls on some of the other plot threads over in the Venom series with characters like Dylan, who we can see featured prominently on this chapter, and the way that he's trying to contact the individual of Bren, who becomes a really prominent plot piece over in this issue, is also really, really interesting. I love how much time that Grønbekk spends building up to the debut of Bren over on the page. It feels like these characters are just behind his location, and when he finally shows up on the screen, it almost feels like Natasha and Dylan are almost too late to save him. I really love the sequence over at the Hive showcasing the Toxin Venom symbiotes and introducing the Widow as well. Really appreciate the Widow's costume design alongside the symbiote here, and find that the red hair coming in over from Natasha does a great job pulling upon some of the interesting elements over with her characterization. I also found it really interesting when Dylan finally caught up with Natasha late in the issue. I think this story, once again, does a great job building up to the debut of Bren over on the page, but also gets a lot of the tension and animosity between Dylan and Natasha just right over in the book. I love the fact that Natasha is a little bit apprehensive about working with Dylan due to the fact that he's so young. And to be fair to Grønbekk, I feel like Grønbekk really gives that sense of personality over for Dylan. Dylan is not just a straight laced, altruistic character, he also has some teenage angst and melodrama that he's working on the page. Due to this really complicated scenario, I think lending in an aspect of characterization similar to that really helps deepen the personal relationships in this Venom issue as well here. I really love the fact that in the last couple pages, we get to see Natasha shed some of her preconceived notions and run off alongside Dylan. Really seeing her take on the costume and work alongside Dylan as Venom is really, really thrilling here. You know, Venom as Dylan is such a new concept over for Marvel that seeing the publisher really invert the status quo and introduce some new Marvel characters taking on symbiotes, I think is so much fun. I've been a big fan with the direction that Marvel has been in with all these different symbiote characters, even extending over to Normie Osborn with the Red Goblin series too. Really hope that Marvel continues to expand and explore these younger characters getting symbiotes because I really think it brings out a fascinating juxtaposition that's just a great launching pad for so many different stories here. So at the end of the day, I absolutely loved Venom issue 26. I always think that Torunn Grønbekk's scripts have this great sense of ambition, and I think that the villain known as No Name is just such an interesting way for Black Widow to become integrated over into this Venom series. Love how some of the final moments with Bren really pull on some of those elements with Natasha as well. Really think this book captures an incredibly dark vibe that's juxtaposed with these really young heroes kind of coming in to their own with the really violent prone symbiotes as well. There's so many interesting scenarios and elements of dialogue to explore in the new Venom comic book, and I'm so happy that Marvel is leaning into all of these really fascinating ideas. I want to know from you, what do you think of Natasha teaming up with the Venom symbiote? What were some of your thoughts over on Venom issue 26? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming to check out our video review over on Venom 26, and we'll be back to see where this series is headed next. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.